All right, can everybody hear me?
Sir, yes, sir.
All right, guys, welcome to week 2 of the Ville Cup 2013. Tonight we are playing CP Badlands, which is a control point, obviously. The team with the most full cap-outs at the end of 20 minutes is the winner of this match. If neither team is capped out, or if both teams have done so an equal number of times, whoever controls the center point when time expires will be the winner. That clear to everybody? The way that cap-outs are counted as far as tiebreakers later in the match, it is full cap-outs that are credited, not individual points among the map.
Give here, Cup.
So, Coyote, any questions from your team? All right, Siegfried, how about y'all? Everybody good? All right, captains, if y'all are ready, go ahead and switch your status over and we will get this match underway. Good luck and have fun, everybody.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week number 2 of the Ville Cup 2013, coming to you from CP Badlands. We've got the Group of Drunks and the Ville Cup and Cakes coming at each other. Group of Drunks bringing in a 2-0 record, Cup and Cakes bringing in a 1-1 record. We've got Siegfried tonight taking the lead as lieutenant for Group of Drunks, and we've got Coyote, captain of the Cup and Cakes. Joined in the broadcast booth tonight by Plinko from TVB and our strategic expert Buzzy Beetle in here. And we see the teams are readying up. Plinko and Buzzy Beetle, good evening. How are you guys doing?
I don't know about strategic expert, Alize, but I'm flattered, honestly. I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you?
1.
We are underway. There's the beginning of that 20-minute clock for the first half. Two blue scouts. We got God Scouts times 2.
None on red, so this will be an interesting matchup.
Red's got a bit of presence in the house as well as blue. Looks like blue may be winning this midfight. They're definitely holding position and keeping the red team up in kind of advantage.
Yep. Nice work by Bronze Fox to flush out the medic.
First center point capture of the night goes to the Group of Drunks. That is important to know who has the center because there are no ties this year. If at the end of regulation time the teams have the same number of points end caps, whoever is in control of the center is the winner.
Looks like we got a back cap going on bridge, but that demo man's gone down.
Bronze Fox takes the Spire. He's a scout in the lead by himself. Defense is Purple Hippo, a demo. He's going towards the final point.
They have a whole bunch on last, so it looks like that Ville Cup will be able to hold it, but they definitely got knocked on their backside for that first push.
Bronze Fox causing chaos back there. Most of the Cup and Cakes are now at their final point. There's an uber heavy. Fingolfin and Andor walking onto the point. There's a sticky trap waiting, but this could be trouble.
They need a little more backup here if GOD's going to take this. A little slow to help. I don't think they're going to pull this one off.
Look at that move by Bronze Fox. Walks behind the heavy, takes the point.
Time to prove me wrong.
That was a risky play. I mean, a blue team was really overextended there, and if they hadn't gotten that scout on the point, they would have lost that push and lost their point. Like, they would have taken Spire back, but...
An aggressive move, would we say.
Nice rollout from Purple Hippo, but does not beat the scouts in the middle. He's by himself. There's
Purple Hippo, of course, being the demo over there on A. One of the two.
Cup and Cakes having a poor showing on mid side. They're just not getting out of power. And with Group of Drunks taking both crates immediately, they pretty much secure the midpoint for the mid fight. So there's no way that Cup and Cakes is going to be able to make this.
Indeed, you saw Sherlock there trying to take a stab out on Umoria to take out a medic. Didn't do it. Umoria instead got the kill.
The positioning is just so much better for GOD right now.
Cup and Cakes just popped their Uber on mid. They have 4 up, and they are about to proceed because Group of Drunks has crit. It's just a heavy and a medic in a bit. They're not good.
Nice cleanup there by Cat.
Suki doing her best by herself on the cap, though. Can't hold off the entire team Group of Drunks that showed up in force.
Looks like Umaria got an Uber saw, so he popped an Uber that he had early, and they're pushing fire immediately. Cup and Cakes still only has 4 players left. They really need to back out.
Yeah, they need to defend last year, or they're going to get rolled through.
One of those players, a 3 up, one is at the spire. Unless he can do a back cap, there's about to be trouble at final. Cat, the second scout. Zuki's on final with a medic.
Yeah, they just got some spawns.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
Working on taking it back.
They really don't have any presence up there. They have no business with fire right now because they're just not going to be able to hold it. They have no presence. And with the rest of Group of Drunks pushing in immediately, they really need to be focusing on holding last because they can't push right now.
No, they've got a lot of people on battlements. Very, very dangerous here.
So what, in your opinion, Buzzy, is the thing that Cup and Cakes needs to do to be ready to make a push back out to that spire?
Well, first of all, they should all be holding the same positioning. I see a lot of people in upper trying to push Group of Drunks out, and they actually have player advantage. If they notice, they should be able to push on this and be able to take spire.
That is a 9-on-5 advantage.
They're really looking for a big difference in players being able to make something happen. And while they just got spawns, they don't have any positioning yet. So if they can push them back, they will have spire.
Mummy and Grisoni popping an Uber at the spire, however, doesn't look like he had any stickies loaded, so it goes to waste.
Yeah, Cup and Cakes is currently not doing well. They just got spawns, but yeah, I don't think Group of Drunks is going to be able to push on this. They haven't noticed. They're still holding Grid Bridge under most of their force, so they didn't take advantage of the numbers advantage they had there for a moment. Both teams look like they were a little slow to react to a lot of things going on.
Do you agree with camping a heavy with a medic on the final?
In certain situations, it's mainly an issue if there's someone who comes down lane with a sniper and just headshots the heavy. So if this is notices and they really want to get an easy kill, I mean, I'm just looking from spectator down that hall. There's usually a medic and a heavy shooting down that hallway. If they have a good sniper, they could totally take advantage of it, but not necessarily, they don't have it. And also, look, it matters, because Cup and Cakes has 4 players up, and if Group of Drunks pushes now, they basically take the point. It just comes down to do they notice.
Yep.
Looks like
Here comes Siegfried working on that sentry gun. Bob using the little sticky remover there.
He's using the short circuit.
Short circuit, saving his gun and his gear.
But if the Uber comes, that'll be a different situation. How are they pulling the crits out?
Oh yeah, they popped the crits. Coyote still is sitting on Uber, but they lost their man advantage that they had. They didn't act fast enough.
Yep.
I'm a little concerned about the positioning of Bob's gun there. It does help cover the upper. He did to stickies.
Oh, Siegfried gets him taken down.
The gun does not cover the point, and this is a point where you only need about 2 or 3 seconds to capture it. Less if you have a scout.
If the heavy goes down, I'd look for the scout to try to sneak in. Bronze goes down.
Zuki by herself on the point. Taking rocket fire. Mummy coming in to help out.
There's really no cap time on the point. There's really no necessity to have a heavy sitting on the point. As long as they have someone watching the lower left, they don't need to have that heavy sitting there and being threatened to get headshot. Oh, we got an Uber's demo coming in on last.
Yeah. And they have nobody on lower left.
The other Uber has been used. Cup and Cake's Uber was used in the side hallway.
Sentry's down.
On last, and oh man, Group of Drunks.
I can't.
There's 2 scouts.
All GOD needs is somebody to sneak in, and there they are. The scouts.
There they are. 2 scouts ran.
Both scouts in there. That's an instantaneous cap.
Nobody was paying attention to every route. That's unfortunate.
That happened so fast I didn't have the camera on it. I apologize, but that's what happens on this map. Capturing is almost instant.
I'm gonna watch Cup and Cakes roll out here and see. They're just being a little slow.
Cup and Cakes
They seem
in
to-
red. God is in blue. And there's those two scouts.
They seem to be preferring to stay as a group, and they're not getting anybody out early, so they're losing their presence on the point.
This is...
Cup and Cakes, if they're pushing out of house, they're not going to be able to get any position advantage on this.
Yeah, they're just setting themselves up to get spammed out.
Right there at the beginning. Oh, Medic goes down.
Ville Cup and Cakes
Nice
with
work
3
by
players
Demis.
up. They need to head back to last immediately. They only lost one of their medics, so they should be able to block, but they need to get out of there now.
Yes. Let's see if
And
they
the medic is
are they doing
alone.
so.
76% Uber. He cannot afford to lose that. Cup and Cake sticking together on their initial rollout, but getting a little broken up when it starts coming time to defend. They need to reverse that habit. On the rollout is one of the few times it's okay to separate your team out long to make sure you contest that middle. Uber heavy walking onto the net last point. A second Uber. There's a defending Uber. It's a better one. It will outlast.
They have serious man advantage. It's just a heavy and medic.
Indeed. Fingolfin finishing up the deal. Oh, wow. Credit to Bob the Ninja Man getting on there and surviving against 3 or 4 groups of drunk members. That engineer with his melee weapon just saved a cat.
Grizzoni really saved that by spawning and getting stickies on the point while the GOD had all their players on it, so he managed to clear them all out.
Indeed, that was some teamwork going on there. Not the situation you want to see it in, but well done. That knocked out at least 6 of the 9 players on Group of Drunks. Gives Cup and Cakes a little bit of a breather.
They are on Spire with a soldier.
Being very aggressive here.
Tactical Bacon dancing around on Spire there, trying to stay alive against enemy soldier and demo.
It's not gonna last.
He goes down with about half a
off.
cap. Purple Hippo coming up and joining. They need multiple people up there at a time, not one at a time.
They need to fight down below too to give their guy.
He takes it back. Spire's retaken by Cup and Cakes.
So if they can basically hold this, I'm not sure if they can take out some of their own. Yeah. Going back to the whole, if they can hold this, Cup and Cakes has 4 players up.
Yeah, I would expect to see GOD prep to walk in as soon as that point caps. They're already.
Yep, they're actually already doing it. They have 2 Ubers.
They're in position to walk in. One low, one high.
Medic Uber, no one.
Sentry's distracted. Pyro tries to air blast their way on, but goes down. There's still a heavy Uber from God up on the upper level. About to get stabbed. He gets icicled by Sherlock.
We have even numbers on the team. The question is who can make use of it better.
Zuki and Sherlock hanging on. Scout coming in. Gets to the point but dies. Cakes live to keep fighting.
But he needs backup for that one.
Yeah.
So Cup and Cakes has a slight Uber advantage right now, and one of the group of drunk medics is down. Oh no, he just came back up. So basically, if they build up their Ubers really quickly, they might be able to defend the next push. You don't want to be too aggressive when you're holding last, because if it falls through, you basically lose your point and you lose the round. Right now they're being very aggressive. Cup and Cakes pushing up into upper lobby, and there's nobody watching. Well, there's a heavy on last, and if they come in with a demo or something, and there's no one watching when we're left, they're going to basically lose the point. But Group of Drunks is backing out.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
These piecemeal attacks on the Spire may act as a distraction for the Cakes, getting God's attention, but it's not going to last or stick unless they can get more of the team out there at once.
Looks like I'm a Mummy just used his Uber.
Sure did. Used it on purple. He used it on the balcony. He's going up to the point. He actually has jumped over the point by mistake, I think. The medic is going for the cap. Well, Mummy that is going for the cap. Hippo trying to hold him off. Not going to do it.
Very aggressive play.
It is,
Doesn't
but
have any backup.
yeah, the front lines are very confused. The teams are finding themselves wrapped around each other. Coyote has an Uber ready.
This is definitely a sign of a desperation from the Cup and Cakes, because they really want to take that Spire back. They really want to push out, but they can't seem to figure out exactly how to do that.
They're only pushing 1 or 2 people at a time. They seem to be attacking high and missing low, or vice versa. They need to hit both at once with their whole team. Wait for a moment when they have more players, and they can leave a few fewer on the last point, and take everybody out at once. Right now, a medic and an engineer with a shotgun working the battlements. Not ideal, but better than nothing. Umoria drops a 90%. Goes down as they try to push in. Mummy has popped an Uber in return. They're trying to make their way to the point.
They pushed out of trash.
2 soldiers and a demo on top. There's 3 cakes up on point number 2 right now. They all gone down.
Yeah,
One's left
now.
and running away. They got taken out by some sticky spam. They got up high, but again, they weren't able to hold both high and low at once.
Cup and Cakes isn't looking too good in this position. They still have an Uber disadvantage. They really need to get that Uber up to block that next push.
This is going to be very dangerous here.
Sticky by... Oh, Sticky's take it down. That's going to be a cap. Oh, wow. I thought that was in the bag. Captain Radical leaping in there to save the cap from the scout. There's another one. Bronze Fox runs in behind.
Bronze sneaks in.
Let it be known, you must watch all your exits to the last point. Or have
Especially-
stickies, or both.
Especially when you're carrying 9 players on your team.
Alright, I'm going to watch the center for the initial breakout, then I'm going to try and hop in and go right along with one of the medics, either Andor or Umoria, over there on Group of Drunks. See what they're doing right.
I see. Cup and Cakes are trying to whip their way as a group out here.
That's just not as fast as scouts and demo jumping, unfortunately.
No, they're not using a demo rollout at all.
And they don't have a scout on the team, which have been responsible for almost every single cap Group of Drunks have. Scouts playing a crucial part here.
I'm very confused by Sherlock on their team. He's playing scout, but he's not actually running out with the rollout. Dranzi showed up really early in the mid-fight and was greeted by 2 scouts. He should have had that backup that the scout provided to be able to deal with the onslaught of 2 scouts.
We're now playing ride along first person with Umoria, one of the 2 medics on Group of Drunks. As he tries to build up his Uber, he's at 90%. Dancing around the center.
It looks like
Mummy used Uber to survive, but he's not going to be able to flip the fight in the back.
No, there's nobody there to help him.
Umoria has an Uber ready at the base of the spire. Is healing a heavy. That would be Fingolfin. Uber is popped walking in the lower level of the Cup and Cakes base, going out the opposite side to clear base a tower as they take the capture.
And they have a full Uber from Andor. They're going to run straight in with it, looks like.
Switching to Andor's first-person view, they walk on with a pyro, extinguish, double capture.
Yeah, Cup and Cakes needed to fall back sooner. They are not reacting to the number of players that they have on their team alive. They just seem to be going ahead and doing whatever, basically. They need to be aware of how many players they have up to be able to make use of them.
This time we'll watch the center cap and I'll switch and ride along with one of the medics over on Cup and Cakes, either Mummy or Coyote, see how they're doing on their side.
Here we have 2 scouts coming through Valley against fire. Okay, now Garanzi actually has help from the scout. Sherlock, but they got separated.
That's a good note. Sherlock changing from spy to scout now.
Cup and Cakes attempted to go under the bridge, but got snuffed out by the heavy there.
Oh, mini sentry, and they're trying to defend from center house. Didn't work.
See, this is where Cup and Cakes needs to fall back and not push this. They need to regroup.
There we are, riding along with Coyote. Coyote goes down.
They should be falling back a lot further than they are. Where Zuki is right now in Choke is a very aggressive hold. He's basically going to die as soon as Group of Drunks pushes through. And they just called. They have 2 Ubers up. They're ready to take this fire.
Mummy is at 10%. Coyote is dead, though using a Vitasaw and remaining at 19%.
We have the Uber popped in.
Our control point is being captured.
Looks like Mummy and one of the heavies are headed for center to try a back cap, and they are not being opposed.
Alert! The control point is being captured.
So probably get Group of Drunks' attention. All they need really is a scout to block it. But once they have that block...
There's a scout, just like you said.
They probably have a heavy or something like that coming back to help out. or maybe just a medic.
Wow, this is an important move by the Cup and Cakes.
So this is
Mummy and Grizzoni take the back. They could go and backcap this entire map if they hurry.
They chose not to, though.
For some reason, they did not push on. That demo could have jumped the spire and won a round very quickly there. But they are fighting in center. Now the two medics are stranded by themselves together, taking fire from heavies.
They're actually going to be able to get out of this. They don't have any, Group of Drunks doesn't have any scouts on mid, so they can't chase them. So they actually got out with both their Ubers intact.
That's luck, though, that got them out of there. I don't like what we just saw.
Pretty much.
Mummy at 100%, Coyote at 55, looking at a 64-26 for Andor and Yumori on the other team.
It's just a little uncomfortable that they're both by themselves. They have no one else to heal. They have no one to defend them. They need to get out of there.
Yeah, they're dancing in the wide open.
Yeah, their soldiers are on the point. At least one of them needs to be down there with those guys, with those medics.
At least they're holding a little bit further up now, but they do need to get their act together.
Mummy pops his Uber in the house, taking fire from scouts, pursuing enemy medic. They run into a combo that pops Uber in return. That's Andor combo with Fingolfin.
We only have about a minute left here.
Now with Coyote, who has an Uber ready.
The control point is being contested.
They're basically throwing everything they have at this drunk. It might be working, actually. They have finally found their aggressive streak. That might actually help them a lot. You can't be defensive on Badlands unless you're holding a top. You really gotta be a bit more aggressive.
And Coyote goes down. Back to the main overhead camera. Group of Drunks currently maintaining center, but they don't have it solidly quite yet. They're going to try a push, though.
Yeah, there's only 15 seconds left, so this will just end 4-0, it looks like.
The control point is being captured.
Yeah, there won't be enough time. There are too many players that they won't be able to take the last.
No, I don't think they'll
Especially
cap
since
before
they
it
don't
ends.
have an Uber, they won't be taking it.
So that is a 4-0 win in the first half for the Group of Drunks.
Alright guys, good match. We're going to take a 5-minute halftime here, make any subs you need. But before you leave, switch colors.
Sorry, guys.
Switch colors now. Take a 5-minute halftime.
Well,
There we go. Buzzy's going to try and boost her mic since we know that's been a little quiet there. But what do you think of those first half rounds there, Plinko?
I will say I was really surprised. You know, in week one, I thought Cup and Cakes were probably actually the second best team we saw, despite the fact that they lost that second half. I really thought they would play with better coordination and better aggressiveness here. They just haven't had it together this round at all. I'm really impressed with GOD.
Yeah, GOD was playing an aggressive game. They played a coordinated game. They stayed as a team, and those two scouts were just devastating.
No, absolutely, and Scout Badlands is extremely important. It's a big map with a lot of ways to go, so a smart, sharp scout can really do a number on the teams. Bronze Fox for sure has been doing a great job sneaking in, and Katatsu has certainly done the same thing, sneaking around and getting attacks, and just splitting the Cup and Cakes up.
Yeah, last week we saw the Cup and Cakes scored a devastating 12 captures in a single round on CTF Turbine, which is the highest number I've been able to find for a single round score thus far in my research. Badlands, we know, however, is prone to some pretty significant score imbalances. There was a 10-0 match, or sorry, a 10-0 half in the 2011 Cup, part of Heroes' March to Victory. This map has 5 out of the last 6 matches have been shutout. 2-0 wins by one team, and 8 out of the last 12 individual rounds have been shutouts, with one team scoring 0 and the other walking to a victory, anywhere from 1 to 10 points in each of those rounds. So there's definitely this is definitely a map where the right type of practice, the right type of training and knowledge in advance, a good tactic, can definitely get you somewhere.
Well, I think, you know, the key here is, unlike a CTF map, you know, you can't just sneak one guy in and score a point. It's a team game, and the teams that are playing better usually don't get pushed all the way back to their final. Most of these games, I think, we'll see tonight will end in, Most of the halves will end with one team with 0. Now, it might be, I don't think we'll see 4 O's and 5 O's and 10 O's. We'll see a lot of 1 and 2 O's is what I expect to see. Maybe a 2 or 3 or 4 to 1. But we'll see if it's more closely contested than that.
Are you back with us, Buzzy, or still working on the mic?
Apparently my levels in here are fine. I mean, I come in here frequently in the TeamSpeak server, so,
Yeah, Alze, you all 3 sound equal in here. It's got to be something with the rebroadcast that's going out to the crowd.
Curious. Yeah, the only 2 commands I have are one that are going to boost everything, including the game sounds that drown everything else out, and the other one I think only handles my microphone, and I don't think anybody needs to hear me any louder talking on and on as I tend to do. But let me see what I can do.
Sorry about that, Ray Gun. Didn't recognize you without your tag on.
Alright, I gave a slight boost to the other sounds. We'll see if that's helpful in any way.
alright. In about 2 minutes, I guess somebody messaged me on Steam and tell me if this is loud enough.
I think that's a good time to remind everybody that if you have any questions about the matches or the games, the Ville Cup in general, feel free to contact either Alizefan, myself, or Buzzy Beetle by Steam message, or you can always tweet at the Ville events, and we will also pick it up that way.
At Ville events.
So I have a bit of an interesting, well, I wouldn't say interesting, but basically during this time sit out, Ville Cup and Cakes pulled in Raygun 9, who is a very good scout they have in their team. It was very interesting that they didn't field him immediately. So expect to see some more important scout play, a lot of more flank work
y'all
being
ready
done.
for the second match of the night?
I think they'll be able to deal with the 2 scouts that Group of Drunks have been able to bring to the table.
Yeah, we're looking for the Cup and Cakes to edit their scoreboard name.
Alright, we've got our live camera back.
Captains,
Got
as soon
Buzzy's
as y'all
voice
are ready,
boosted.
Go ahead and change your status, and we'll get underway here.
And we are about to get underway with the second half. Crowd is ready, Cake's ready, they are ready to rock.
2, 1.
Group of Drunks, of course, is now going to be red, and Cup and Cakes is going to be blue. We'll see if their halftime changeover, bringing in that scout, help them out a bit here.
I'm curious
Bronze is first in the
that
middle again.
Group of Drunks only has 1 scout out mid. They had 2 last round. I think they swapped one out for Spy.
They swapped out Kitatsu for
Unforgiven.
Yeah,
Unforgiven,
and that's exactly what they did.
They still do take that first cap of center, but there's definitely a bit more of a Cup and Cakes presence here with Zuki and her medic Mummy joining in. Oh, stab!
Mini-century.
Unforgiven takes 2 stabs, knocks out the medic the demo and the heavy.
Much more interesting mid-fight, but I think it's safe to say that the Cup and Cakes should be probably backing out.
Yep. They're down to 3 up here.
And they're still trying to hold house.
A lot
Okay,
of
I
pill
just got
spam.
confirmation. That our level should be fine again, Plinko.
Alert. The control
Excellent.
point
Good
is
to hear.
being contested.
Yeah, there's a big push on Spire. Group of drunks running up there. Bronze Fox getting the lead action in. Now some demos hopping up as well. Cup and Cake's more aggressive on the defense. That engineer's building a mini sentry is being wrangled to try and help out.
Group of Drunks hasn't let up this aggression. Cup and Cake still needs to try to figure out and find what they need to do to win this, because they're being really defensive. They should be a bit more aggressive right now.
At least they are staying as a group. Most of the team in the close vicinity of Spire right now, which is where the fight is. Next step, as Buzzy suggests, they need to find a way to take the fight forward.
Yeah, Bronze Fox doing some great work on battlements. He's causing a whole bunch of commotion behind Cup and Cake's lines.
I am now riding along first person with Bronze Fox as he takes out a medic on the battlements. Forces the drop.
He actually forces a popped Uber from
As well.
Checkmate.
Bronze Fox by himself there dealing with both medic threats. Nice bit of scout work there by Bronze.
We got Raygun contesting Spire. Group of Drunks is down 4 players. It looks like they might actually be able to retake Spire. Or actually just hold it. They never actually... Group of Drunks
They never quite lost it.
That's right. They were about to cap it, I think, and try to push right to last.
That's gonna
But
push...
Raygun saved them.
That's gonna throw a wrench into their pushing plans. They just lost a whole bunch of players in positioning. Except for that,
And now we see now we see Raygun on
Yeah.
center behind them as scout for the Cup and Cakes. He's being pursued by Bronze in a scout battle. Comes out on top.
GUD's falling back there now in the house, it looks like.
It's a firm
Yeah,
there,
they're
outside
back
the
up
house
on the
towards
bridge.
center.
They have a player disadvantage, but it really looks like Bronze is doing some great work for them on the flank. But
There's A and Mummy and some others working on the choke there on behalf... oh, Deflect. Damn, it's Deflex. Grizzoni's pill takes him out.
Wow.
Both teams running pyros right now. Both Ubers,
Damn,
I
it's
believe I
managed to
just saw
steer them
pop.
into an Uber without really
One of them, Mummy pops. There's a counter pop happened.
Is being contested.
Coyote has an Uber ready.
He's holding. He's trying to milk, I think, here.
There's a spy cap behind him. Who's going to cap first? 4 in the center, 2 on there. That's Bronze.
Oh, Bronze Fox has it.
Bronze has it. He survives an attack from both Raygun
Bronze Fox
Taking
is
on by
down,
Raygun.
but
and Grizzoni.
Cup and Cakes only has 3 players up. They can cap that point, and then they need to run away. Run the heck away.
Here comes Jesus. Is that Jesus faction? It sure is. Challenging for Spire. Grizzoni holding him off. There's a spy moving in low, going into the lower level of the building. That's unfor.
Grizzoni really needs to back out now. He is currently facing pretty much all of Group of Drunks C by himself.
Unforgiven, spying for Group of Drunks on the battlement, takes out the engineer, Cloaks disappears. He is using the Cloak and Dagger and the Spicicle.
We got Raygun doing some serious work on Spire.
Yeah, here's going to go unforgiven for another... Oh, he gets snuffed
And-
out.
Oh, he gets found out by a fortuitous turn by the enemy. That was some sneaky work by Unfor.
Looks like Damage and Checkmate are coming up bad. They got some serious issues dealing with Pyro on Cup and Cakes.
Yes, they do. Cup and Cakes, they're doing a little better at focusing fire. They're not getting pushed back the same way they did before, but they're having trouble finding a way forward.
Yeah, they're really being defensive. They just seem to be sitting there on battlements. They haven't actually pushed forward with any of the player kills that they get.
No particularly high score so far. Highest points we see are 10s and 9s. No caps by either team.
Both teams are sitting on Ubers, and it looks like we have Coyote who just popped into house.
Sure
We
did.
have 3 Ubers going on right now. 4 Ubers going on right now. We got a fight in house and a fight in choke.
Dammit's doing an excellent job keeping Zuki Zuber from getting any damage in on the center, but she does take him down and moves on.
The control point is being
Cup and Cake
contested.
seems to have found their front foot. They took down most of Group of Drunks. They should be pushing on this right now.
Reagan is making a
They are up 7-4, 7-3.
takes Leno out below.
There's the Cup and Cakes to center. Jesus faction taking him down with impels.
Cup and Cakes really needs to get the rest of their players on point. Or watch
Yeah.
out for the stick he said Alpha Panda threw on the point. I don't think they've actually captured the point.
They have
They
not.
have positioning.
They have very little.
They have a level 2 sentry covering the point here. Bob just picking it up and moving it, setting it into a nasty place if he can get that gun built. It will cover opposite approaching balcony, but that's going to be Dammits finds it and destroys it before it can finish building.
Cup and Cakes got way too aggressive there. They needed to take that point before they moved forward.
Agreed. I never like to see anything where people go past the objective and don't leave anyone there. Got to...
Yeah, they basically had it, and then they just ran past it. They needed to take it so they could get their forward spawns and then move up as a team and regroup. They never did that.
Definitely like
It's
the
very
aggression, but yeah, the objective is always the first goal. Can't let yourself get caught up too much in deathmatching or pursuing a target. Objective is what wins the match. We've got 13 minutes left, and as a reminder, if there's a tie on end caps at the end of a half, it's possession of the center point that determines the victor. Still 0-0.
Coyote had a bit of an uber advantage there, and they could have pushed that, but I think it's probably a bit safer that they didn't. So we're going to be...
About to see 2 full Ubers on Cup and Cakes if they survive, versus 1 on Group of Drunks.
To a second one, so I think
If they realize this, they should be
They've
able to
got
push
6
back.
people together with both medics. This is an opportunity.
And they're backing up.
Unforgiven knocking out the sentries and other engineering gear, takes out the demo as a spy. He's taking them apart. This is a time to use those Ubers and be aggressive. There's one popped in an unusual spot, trying to come out of the choke with 2 Ubers.
No, they really weren't paying attention to their player counts there, because
Ubers countered.
3 players down. It looks like they used both their Ubers, but they have nobody watching their flank route, so if, say, Unfor, the spy walks in, he could probably just take fire.
Exactly, and now Checkmate has an Uber on behalf of Group of Drunk.
Who just ran by there.
There is a baby sentry watching the spire, but what good is that going to do against the spy when there's nobody watching the sentry?
Riding along there with Moonray for a moment, Soldier over on the Group of Drunks, as the GOD pushes through the house a little bit.
Looks like the baby sentry's wrangled on battlements for Cup and Cakes. That'll put a little bit of pressure, but those things aren't terribly threatening. I don't think it'll do
They're
too much
not.
difference.
Not compared to a real sentry gun with a wrangle on it. I understand the wrangle, it does make it frustratingly hard to damage, but that position is not going to actually cover the point
And
itself.
not like it matters anyways, because that engineer just got taken up by Unfor.
Unfor is a
He's gonna
dangerous
look to try
spy.
to get the heavy here. Can't quite
Zuki's
get in position.
Zuki's not
She
paying
knew he was
attention.
there.
She's going to go down.
And that was a nice stab by Unfor.
And now you'll see the paranoia start for Cup and Cakes.
They really need it against Unfor.
Now riding along with Unfor again, he's got an Uber demo against him. He cloaks and runs. He's at low health.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
We got Bronze Fox taking cap time on point. Won't be able to get too much for it, but he got some. He got
Unfor
half
moving
of the
towards final in case he's needed there. He may just camp
Cup and
there
Cakes.
with his C&D for a moment.
really needs to back up. They're having that issue where they don't have players up again.
And they
Yep,
made
he's
this
about to
spy
take it as a spy
Control
cap.
point is being
Nicely
And there
done.
goes Unfor.
Good coordination.
Great coordination.
Group
Bronze
Drunks.
done for them.
That's the first cap of this half. About 10 minutes, 17 seconds left.
Well, Cup and Cakes has found a bit more aggression. They really need it. They especially need it on their mid fights.
Cup and Cakes has lost a player. I don't know if they're trying to change out quickly or if somebody dropped.
That is Sherlock who left. He's been playing a lot of spy for them.
He was going demo for a while at the end. I am not sure.
Bronze Fox first to middle.
Round is underway currently. Cup and Cakes down a man.
I think there was a bit of confusion there at the start. They were going to continue or not. And Unfor just got a backstab on a
Two of them. Nice work by Unfor. Critical picks. Bronze takes the center.
Needs to back out.
They have 3 people alive.
They have 2.
2-1. They have an engineer alive by himself against 7 people on group.
It's a wipe.
That is 7 versus 0. Group of Drunks in command.
This is a giant red flag for a group of drunks. They need to take Spire, and they could basically take Glass now. They
Looks
have
like Bronze is going to take Spinner, and everyone else is headed straight in. This is perfectly timed. If they can get there and just push their way in before the respawn wave coordinates.
It won't really matter because they have 2 Ubers, and if they're walking a heavy in there with an Uber, there's nothing that Cup and Cakes can do about it.
And there's the aforementioned heavy with Uber.
Point is being captured.
There's the second Uber has been popped. There are a bunch of stickies on that point, but they take down the demo. They got it. They got it. That was overwhelming force by a group of drunks. Hard to resist that, harder still when you're down a man.
I think the loss of the player made them confused about what was going on, if they were still live or not. I saw some hesitation from Zuki when she was in Valley.
Right. They know they're down a player. I'm not sure if they have somebody available.
Bob there offering to change classes. They need to do something here, find something out that will help them toe the line.
I agree. I down a player, a mini engineer is not going to help very much. They need another, they need a soldier or a scout.
Looks like Cupcakes has switched their demo to Purple Hippo, who's a very powerful demo, I understand. And Captain Radical's coming in.
Radical coming in to replace Sherlock. Bob the Ninja Man is on Soldier, as you suggested, Plinko.
I assume we'll see Captain Radical come in as a soldier as well.
Probably.
Fight still going for the center point on this second round here of the third round of the second half.
Right now it's basically quad against the rest of the group of drunks. There's no one there to back him up, and he realizes this is a little too late.
Sadly, a Pyro versus a combo plus a demo is not in a good position.
So basically the linchpin for Cup and Cakes is their awareness of the number of players that they have alive when they're doing any pushing or holding. They're not taking advantage of the player count they have or don't have, and if they don't have players, they need to get out of there, and they're not doing that.
We're seeing them most aggressive when they're actually down, and then being very timid when they're up, which is backwards.
It shows that there's a lack of communication going on for Cup and Cakes. If an order is being called, it's not being responded to immediately, or there's people who aren't telling people basically that they're down, and nobody's checking to see if they have players before they make a call to push.
Some nice air blasting there by Dammit saves the heavy medic combo from some stickies or some pills that otherwise would have definitely killed them both.
We had an Uber Heavy going in the lower lobby. I don't think anyone... Oh, no. They are aware. Cup and Cakes is aware there's a heavy medic currently flanking them. They're going up to battlements right now.
They are behind the opposing medic. This is a dangerous spot.
It's a really aggressive
They go down.
By, Checkmate and Siegfried. Not necessarily a good call.
No, they got snuffed out, and two medics, a soldier, and a demo probably are going to give more damage than Heavy can absorb even fully overhealed.
We're seeing a medic-Uber pairing here. Those two medics got stranded by themselves, had to burn an Uber to survive. They are on the run from a scout.
The control point is being alert. The control point is being contested.
Group of drunks shouldn't really be able to take this point right now, but there they are. They're doing it.
One badly injured soldier takes it, and the spy backcaps.
Only 4 up for the for Cup and Cakes right here.
For a while, a group of drunks had a numbers disadvantage. They had no business being able to take that point, and yet they still took it. They got a spy cap for it.
The coordination that group of drunks is using is very admirable. They're responding to the situations, they're noticing the openings, and they're just taking them.
Yeah, it seems to me the group of drunks is using 2 small little squads that are kind of working. You know, they're talking to each other, deciding what to do, and that seems to be working pretty well for them right now.
Yeah, Bronze Fox fighting Purple Hippo, and generally a matchup. It didn't actually go that way, but usually a demo versus scout demo dies. But that's
the other demo got stickies in there. That made a big difference.
So here we have group of drunks with a numbers disadvantage. Cup and Cake should be able to take this mid fight.
Only 3 group of drunks surviving. You see 5 Cup and Cakes in the middle.
And those 3 are currently bunched together trying to back out of Valley. Group of drunks could pressure them and take them out, but they're just taking points instead, which is a really good move.
This is Cup and Cakes need to just press and
Cup and Cakes is on with 2 people on the spire. They may be trying to do a quick cap.
The only thing that might bite in the butt about that is they didn't take out that medic. Checkmate still has 80% Uber. Mummy has he has Uber right now, but they're going to be having issues if they wanted to be able to push immediately off of this, and they're trying.
Spire's being captured backwards. I don't know if nobody's there who's going to be able to deal with Bronze. He's dangerous. He's going to be able to move very quickly towards the center if he wants.
He's going to come.
He does not.
Bronze is actually being smart about this. If he pushes too far, and he's basically going to die. He's trying to hold that point for all it's worth. And Cup and Cake spawns are going to be further back. They won't be able to cycle forward. They can. Oh, actually. They got a heavy and a demo on mid. That's why they didn't.
He's going to
that's
see
why
if he
they
can
didn't
force
push.
a
Bronze by himself, taking out the heavy on the Spire, hunting down the medic, gets the medic as well with Damit's help.
Alert. Our control point is
Bronze again being impressive as a scout. God is all over the center point. Cup and Cakes was on Spire, but couldn't do enough.
So that was a huge loss.
That was huge.
contested.
So Uber popped by checkmate for Group of Drunks. Wasn't needed. They're moving back
Really?
forward.
Mummy's still alive, but he's got no health. Oh, there he goes.
Mummy
He's
goes
gonna
down.
set it
Uber
down.
drop.
Ray gun takes down checkmate from behind.
And Group of Drunks is on the Spire. They've rapidly reversed their situation.
Time has
That's
been
Braun Fox. He is running for final. He meets some resistance, has to back up.
Just goes to show how aware of what's going on Bronze Fox is, and being a scout is really doing a good job. You have to have that awareness of what your team's doing and what your opponents are doing. He's capitalizing on that handily.
He just goes in to do a bit of scouting on final there. It was a suicide charge against a heavy. He identifies location of the sentry gun. No doubt has already reported it to his team. It's just a mini sentry in a spot that really doesn't cover all a point. About 2.5 minutes left.
Right now we have Darklino with Group of Drunks who has 100% Uber advantage. Well, not Uber advantage, but he has a full Uber, and they could be pushing right now if they wanted, because Cup and Cakes has no Uber. And if they go now, they will be able to have it.
And there they go.
Here they go.
And they're
That should be an extinguish. Turn off the Uber and they win. Turn off the Uber.
control point is being
And there's
And
point.
there's the capture. 2 minutes left. It is 4-0 in the second half in favor of Group of Drunks. After we see the center fight, I'll try to get back on camera with Bronze Fox, who's been doing some great work this round, assuming he doesn't get blown up.
Ray gun pushing Bronze Fox out of the mid-fight. Cup and Cakes definitely has this. They need to pressure on and take on the heavy net. Unfortunately, they are losing numbers as well, and they're getting sandwiched between them on bridge. Sounds like Ray gun took out that medic, so...
yeah.
One demo dancing around is not enough for a Group of Drunks to defend the center, but it's now 3 versus 2, not enough people for either team to really do much more until they've packed together.
alert. Our
A
control
real
point
unfortunate
wow.
thing about this is, Darklino never died in that. While both the medics for Cup and Cakes went down, Group of Drunks actually has a full Uber ready to go whenever they're ready. They
I'd
can be
expect
really
to see
aggressive
them.
here.
I'd expect to see them be a little more aggressive here, but I think they're trying to figure out where cupcakes are. at
With
the moment.
30 seconds left, they can safely sit back if they want and just hold
That's
this
true.
position.
They may just decide to park the bus. They can hold it out for 30 seconds and guarantee no cap.
Absolutely. There's a bit of turtling going on in center there for Cup and Cakes getting a gun built. If they'd done this earlier in the match, that might have made things a little bit of a different story. Some blood at the choke point. 3 seconds left.
Group of Drunks pushing an Uber demo, and that's the end of round.
4-0 Group of Drunks wins the second. 4-0 Group of Drunks wins the first. Coming up next after this, we've got Team Innards Meat Explosion versus Tuber's Truly Terrifying Tater Tots. Probably see that in about 10 minutes or so.
Good game, guys. Thank you all very much. See you next weekend.
I know that I tend to harp on this, but communication, guys. Communication, communication, communication. It wins games. And that's exactly what I
Hey, I mean, you make a valid point. That is the most important thing in any game like this. Doesn't matter who your MVPs are, doesn't matter how good they are. If nobody's talking to each other, things aren't going to go very well.
left hand not knowing what right hand is doing.
Exactly. So, rather than harping on something that we're seeing perhaps as a little bit of a negative, Buzzy, what would you say we saw that was being done so very correctly there by a group of drunks?
Group of drunks, they had their act together. They were when they pushed, you usually saw it was a useful push, like the medics and the heavies. Everyone worked together as a group, and when they pushed in, everyone was committed. Everyone was going in, and they were doing their damage. And when they needed to back out, they usually backed out quickly enough. They didn't suffer, like in the entire game, they didn't suffer too many situations where they had major losses and didn't recover from it.
Right. I think what you saw a lot of with GOD was a lot of, or a lack of overextending, which is something I thought we would see a lot of today. They didn't get somebody caught by themselves in a bad position very often. Their scouts, Bronze obviously pushed, and their other scouts would get out and do something strategic, and Unforgiven would, but never caught in a bad position where they would get sliced and pushed way back.
And we saw at the very end there, Cup and Cake seemed to start working together really effectively. They just started being able to coordinate their push and such. Obviously just a little bit too late for tonight's match, but that's what they're going to need to see in matches that are coming up, because obviously there are plenty more to go. We've got Koth Viaduct next week, followed by PL Upward and CP Furnace. So that's sort of communication, teamwork, something that they learn each step along the way, and be a lesson learned and applied to future games.
Oh, absolutely. If nothing else, this is an excellent learning experience for all of them, as long as they recognize their mistakes and are able to correct them in later games.